because it's big.
Hello. Welcome to Have a Go Heroes Match of the Deity episode 4, because it's in a weird order now because we had to miss a week. But yeah, tonight is basically ladies' night. So chin chin to Aphrodite and Hera. Thanks for joining us. A lot of the other gods had other commitments, basically building a world for us this weekend. So,
So they can be forgiven.
Only this once. And also you'll have to bear with me because I sound like a little pretty with my tongue because it's now got a piece of metal through it and I can't speak properly. So
Suffering fuckatash.
So the podcast on this one might not be great.
It'll be fine. Don't know what you're talking about.
It'll be fine.
Should we all just speak like that?
Oh, that's it. You're gonna make fun of me now. That's very Aphrodite of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is. Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, since we missed the last one, this Match of the Deity, we are still going to be an hour, which will be easier with just the three of us. But we're going to go through the whole. Let's see if I can say it. Polyphemus saga.
Woo,
Hey,
well done.
thank you. Yeah, we're going to go through the whole, because that happened over the 2 episodes, so we're going to go through the whole thing, probably be in more detail than the last episode, mainly because that's fresher in our minds, and I think some of us may have just recapped that one as well. So we'll know that one better, but we'll still talk about the first episode on Hera's insistence, because she was very happy with one of the players in that episode, so only rightly so. Right. Do any of you two want to do a quick recap while I try and put my teeth back in, or would you like me to?
You can.
I thought
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
I haven't a good time for that, darling.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, I have wine to drink.
Okay, so after finally leaving Thebes, the party with their new Furbolg friends that had a weird Southern American accent in ancient Greece, but hey. I only have a select few voices I can do, get over it.
A select?
A select few voices. I have a select few less at the moment. They found themselves in a town called Typhlis. So many S's in Greek names.
Just give me one moment.
Are you going to sort the small?
Yeah, one second, sorry.
That's okay, I'll keep recapping. You go sort the small. So many S's. Oh dear. Oh, Aphrodite's sorting out the tiny pretty one. But yeah, so they made their way to the town, were met by the town leader and by a couple of residents, shown hospitality, and then were instantly told, you have to leave, they're taking the children, run away, doom everywhere. Which is what you want to hear when you arrive to a town, you know.
Yeah, it makes you feel so good and warm and fuzzy.
And they probably should have read the TripAdvisor, but you know.
Yeah.
So they did that. They basically intimidated the town leader into telling them a few more details, and all they really got was that the children were taken at night, and so the rest of the residents were being held hostage and forced to stay on the premise that if they didn't, they'd never get their children back. The party decided to lay a trap for this dreaded Polyphemus that they'd heard the name of. But in the meantime, they decided to subtly speak to the townsfolk to try and find out more. Sadly, they weren't so subtle, and so the ambush kind of turned on its head, and they themselves were ambushed. A fight ensued with these weird ogre creatures. Upon almost slaying, or basically putting at death's door, these creatures, they realised that they were actually the missing children, somehow changed or cursed into being these ogre beings. They managed to save them before they died, so no children were harmed in the making of that episode, luckily. And the episode ended with
That
them...
would have angered me.
Yeah, I can imagine so. But yeah, the episode ended with them tracking down to where Polyphemus was staying and getting ready to try and find somewhere to rest before the ensuing battle. Next episode starts. They find a nice cave to rest in which a eccentric bard has been staying for an indeterminate amount of time, working on her songs and her muse. She, hearing that children are in danger and that she could be of help, she decides to stay with the party for a while to help them deal with the issue. They decide to take a long rest to prepare themselves properly. I can do peas. And they eventually, quite sneakily, actually, for the most part, well done, Gabriel, managed to find their way into the cave. Aphrodite boob.
Sorry.
Oh, for those of you that are listening to the podcast and had no idea anything was going to happen, I apologise.
Sorry. I'm just closing my window.
We wouldn't have you any other way.
I'm not sorry at all.
We know.
No.
So yeah, they managed to sneak literally whilst Polyphemus and these ogre children were sleeping, and in a joint effort managed to not only almost blind it immediately, but also castrate it with a spatha.
That was so much fun.
They're very well done. It's where they aimed. And ensuing battle occurred. Again, for the most part, the children were unharmed. I think one may have been felled and brought back before it could completely be released into Thanatos' grasp.
Huh.
They managed to kill Polyphemus. Children still did not change, but after doing a little more investigating and destroying Polyphemus's presumably new eye, for those of you that don't know why he needs a new eye, read the Odyssey, you uncultured swines.
What he said.
Yeah. Found out by destroying the eye that they then removed this curse, whatever it may be, and the children seem to come back to normal. Upon investigating and looting, as the party does, they found a few bits and bobs, as well as an early prototype of Poseidon's trident, which Gavril's fishy eyes kind of popped out of his head.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he took that. He made a prayer to Poseidon, saying that it was kind of his job to rid the world of these cast-offs, saying that he continued to do so. They left and made their way back to town. And that's when shit hit the fan again. In the distance, the town seemed to be having lights lit. Once they got closer, they realised, no, the fucker had been on fire. They ran to try and aid the people in the town, only to find that all of them were pretty much dead, some of which had actually been physically ripped apart. The party managed to find one survivor, and Mercy, doing her thing, brought them back enough to tell what had happened. This was Aurel, and he said that his wife was arguing with the town leader about what they should do, about they had the children with them, but they shouldn't have done so. What were they to do next? When his wife turned and killed Dimitri. After which, the children turned back into these ogres and rampaged through the town, leaving that mess in their wake. Left with basically a whole bunch of orphans. The party very solemnly decided on what to do next, settling on sending the children to Delphi, where Apollo's workers could heal them, help them, give them refuge. Refuge? Don't give them refuge. They've had it bad enough. All their parents are dead. Too soon.
Oh, God.
I'm a bad person.
Yeah, you are.
You know that.
At this point, the bard, special guest, the beautiful Chloe Mason, thanks again, Chloe, and Alma decided that they would go up to Delphi after a messenger arrived telling Gabriel that his allies, his former party, his co-workers, whatever they were, that had been arrested and taken to Sparta, upon their arrival, were due to be executed for treason. Gabriel then called in his favour and told Runt he was huffing it, pun intended, to Sparta, he needed his help. It's at this point where our party parted ways, Alma deciding that she was too young to see that much bloodshed, but would go as far back as Delphi to make sure the children were okay and to be with her parents again until such a time where she might be ready. And that is where we left our heroes. So yeah.
Lots happened.
Lots happened. Initial thoughts from you guys on the Polyphemus saga.
Go on, Harry, I'll let you go first. Oddly, very out of character of me.
Yeah, well, I won't go into detail about it because everyone will remind me that the person who sang this song was a bad person too, but Mother knows best. Yeah, so I was quite insistent on definitely covering both of the streams because Mercy really, really impressed me in the first one. Mm-hmm. Being totally just on the ball. As soon as she saw the kids, she was like, right, save them, don't kill them, run, stop raging.
Yeah, we saw, again, most of you, if you haven't seen the episode, will have at least seen the face. Which is now part of a drinking game.
Yeah, and it was brilliant. I was like, well done. I was very impressed.
Yeah, me too.
And I was also very impressed when went through. I would say window, but through a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So the sweat dripped down it. Never mind.
The sweat dripped down his arm.
Hey.
Yeah, so it was very good. It was entertaining to watch, but also the players' reactions were on point as well. They reacted. They were very much in character, and they reacted in character. As the zoom in of the face shows, it was oh my God, what have you done, you horrible, horrible man?
Yeah, I'm a cleric, and I almost killed a child.
Yeah.
Well, horrible woman, technically, but yeah.
Yeah. It was. No, I was calling you a horrible man.
Oh yeah, I'm
they were saying
I'm awful.
You horrible, horrible man.
Yeah, I'm awful, and I'm okay with that.
And it was, as I say, it was good to watch, and everyone reacted well. And they made an attempt to be diplomatic when they were asking questions beforehand, and it didn't go so well.
They didn't choose the right space for it, and maybe it was less about social awareness and more about spatial awareness. They were in the middle of the whole town having a pot lunch. It's hard to be subtle when you're isolating people and making them feel uncomfortable as the newcomers to the town. Yeah. That tactic of sneaking up and keeping them in a group so they feel safe, but then turning them against each other can work, but not when the rest of the town, is there for support. So
yeah, definitely.
And we had previously talked about, what do you do if the players go where you don't expect them to go, and you handled it really well. In fact, I'm pretty certain you didn't expect them to go here, and they did. And they also handled it really well when I think they realised, and that it was a good episode, the first one, and the second one was just heart-wrenching. So basically it was kind of a obviously no spoilers or anything, but it's like Game of Thrones. You watch a two-parter and go
like cards on the table. I spoke to the DM from the other campaign, Ben, who basically taught me everything I know about DMing, at least, about whether I was like, I've got this way I can do things, or I've got this way. Do I do the harrowing one or not? And he was like, play it by ear. See how you think your players would react from it. And so I could see how well they were handling things and how well they've it's only been, I think, 5 episodes. I think we've got episode 6 tomorrow, haven't we?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've already grown so much as role players and characters. So I was like, yeah, watching them through that episode, I was like, they can definitely handle it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that they've started to gel more as well.
Yeah.
As they didn't know each other, did they, before they started? So
No.
I feel like that they've gelled really nicely together.
Definitely.
And they're starting to know each other's quips, and they're kind of having a little bit of, I hate this word, but banter between each other.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that, actually. Like, I'm really enjoying them kind of Mercy taking the piss out of everybody. It's one of my favourite things.
But then they don't take it as they did anymore. They kind of just go.
Yeah.
Whereas before, Gabriel literally formally apologised for her. Now he just kind of takes it on the chin.
Yeah, and he's just like, yes.
Yeah. It's what she's like. It's fine.
Yeah.
Something else on character growth that should please you two. They've started praying more.
I have noticed.
Yeah. Obviously, Gabriel did his prayer to Poseidon after his thing, which we'll talk about what you guys think that might be later. Obviously, I know what that is because...
OMG, that was so, like, I actually did a... like, when I was listening to it, I was like, excuse me, what? Like, I actually did a shock face. So, well done. That was good.
But, yeah, well done, Gabriel. But yeah, all of them have started... Again, they don't need to be down on... Although you'll probably disagree with me, they don't need to be down on their knees all the time praying, but acknowledging that you're there, and if they want help, most Grecians would ask the gods first, and then their friends. Or they would bless their friends for saying, yes, bless the gods, or bless their friends to the gods for agreeing to help them. You know, everything kind of... Anything good that happened, anything bad they were punished for was kind of blamed or... given responsibility as well as the God's way.
Yeah.
And so it's good that they've started to do that more, but not in a way that's going to break up the narrative.
No, like, I do feel it's very natural. Like, the new bard, Chloe. Sorry, what's her
Kaya?
Kaya. Yeah, Kaya.
Kaya.
She did that quite well. Like, she was just, like, every now and then just putting in kind of subtle hints about things. I really enjoyed that, obviously. So
Yeah.
of course you do.
But yeah, like, again, going back to the Odyssey, that's where I've been rereading through that to make sure I've got nice ideas and I'm keeping with the theme and stuff. And obviously Homer does break things up, but he would do because they're used to it. But yeah, just seeing how much of a part gods are of people's lives, I think really separates it from a high fantasy game as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it as well, with all of the sort of fantasy TV shows and things they make with all the Greek gods, the gods also interfere because they get bored and they poke their noses because they're basically like, "Oh, you haven't prayed to me enough, so I'm going to poke you," or in my case, I'm going to kill you and torture you or whatever it is,
or set fire to you,
or kill your children and your wife and make you go crazy. But that's only Hercules, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, that's the reason Greek myth and Greek gods are my personal favourite. Is they are arguably, some can say Norse, but they are arguably the most human of the gods.
They have faults. I mean, I don't, but
obviously,
I have no faults. My only fault is my husband.
To be fair, that's kind of not your fault.
No, actually, it's yours. If you remember.
No, it's my husband's.
Yeah, it's Zeus's fault.
But who got themselves in a situation where you had to be bartered for, and I had to get married because to release you, mother dear. So just remember that. Just remember.
Depends on
Love you.
Depends on which legend you read. But yeah, honestly, one of them is just Zeus is like, Aphrodite, give me that body. No, fine. Hephaestus can have you.
Who can blame him, to be fair?
Right, we'll get back on track because this is...
Yeah, sorry.
Somehow, on Ladies' Night, this has turned into a dick swinging contest. You're just swinging about your husband's dick so they can't use them.
It's sad that, if I could, I'd chop mine off and put it somewhere so we couldn't use it.
I read a fun story today about how Hera used to magically restore her virginity every year.
Amazing.
Well,
Oh.
to be fair, she's got to do something to make it, more fun.
Wow, this is awkward. Mum talking about sex. No.
Says the goddess of knobbing.
Yes, but the only person that doesn't have sex is my mum. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Hey!
And
We're back on me again. Sorry.
And Hecate and Demeter and
doesn't mean he doesn't sleep with me.
Right, back on
yeah,
the episode, back on the mortals. Jeez.
Sorry.
I've completely lost my train of thought.
I like Mercy. Mercy doesn't try and sleep with my husband.
Yet.
Do you know, I'm actually, and I hate to say this, but I'm actually really, really impressed with all of them at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they all contributed so much in the newcomer as well. Kaya, she kind of, obviously I do enjoy a bit of harmless flirtation, and she brought a little bit of kind of tongue-in-cheek to the party as well, which I enjoyed. And also,
I like no reaction to her as well. They all reacted like, kind of
yeah,
you're a weirdo in a cave, but hi.
Yeah, like she boosted Mercy at one point as well, and
I believe so. It gave her inspiration. Yeah.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like Gavril for me as well. He's been a little bit of a dark horse. I think.
Yeah.
He kind of stands in the background, but the cogs are whirring, and I think, I think we're going to see a lot more from him.
He's obviously very smart. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very good at basically taking everything in and acting.
Yes.
And basically, you think he's not participating, and then suddenly he'll do something which puts everything that everyone else has said together.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, he was listening.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the major things that's helped that is we got Ken's sound sorted last episode as well, because he's always been the quiet one because we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Maybe that too.
Yeah,
but no, you're completely right.
Yeah, and Runt as well. Like I just like that he smashes things. He just like runs into things, sticks his fist through things, puts his legs through things, puts his head through things. Not that I have a type at all.
No.
You say that. He's and there's a couple that are going to go, hey, for this, but it's true. He is the most intelligent, at least socially, barbarian I have ever played with on a table.
Yes. Yeah. He definitely is. He is a very kind of...
He's not. You say intelligent. It's not intelligent. I think he's charismatic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're saying social, so that's charisma.
Yeah.
He is the most charismatic barbarian I've ever seen.
Definitely. But he gets how people are, and he looks after people, and like usually the little uns. But even in situations, he doesn't just go, "I'll smash." He goes, "Can I smash? Is smashing the best idea?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Smash.
And when he's halfway through smashing, he goes, "Oh, fine, I'll smash the foot instead of the face."
Yeah.
He does. He can restrain his smashing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not to Aphrodite, it doesn't.
Yeah, I like how Mercy's reaction to said smashing is. It's always hilarious. Yeah, I'm enjoying is it darling? Mercy always says.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. No, dear.
Oh,
yes,
dear,
dear.
yeah.
Yes, dear.
Of course,
yes, dear. Hello, dear. I love it.
Yeah.
That was my addition to the drinking game.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that yet, I think it's on Facebook and Instagram.
It's excellent.
I won't be playing along tomorrow because I have to DM, but if it's really terrible... Then again, the things I have planned for tomorrow's session, drinking might help.
I'm excited. I am excited. I mean, see, I'm coming in between Aphrodite and Emily at the moment because
I'd love to
really
be coming in between Aphrodite and Emily.
That is a sandwich and a half.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I'm really... Emily's really excited about tomorrow. Like, I think... although I have to admit, I did miss the very end of the last one. So I don't actually know kind of what's happened.
What was the last thing you saw? Because I just did a recap, but you had to look after Small, so you missed the end of that too.
Yeah, sorry. My Aries decided to headbutt my shells, so there we go. Yeah, where am I? So the Poseidon thing happened where Gabriel says, woo wah, woo wah. I am doing your bidding, sir. Oh, thought that was a really good impression.
That was amazing.
Can you do that again?
It's just Aphrodite. They're like, whoa.
Oh God!
Yeah, that's what I meant. Do that again.
No.
We need another meme.
No, we don't. No. And then what did they do after that? Did they?
Did you make
They
it?
came out.
I was going to say, did you make it back to the town yet?
No.
Ah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Should I wait? Or are you going to tell me?
No, he's recapped it. He's already recapped it, so I think he should tell you.
We should probably tell it, but okay, live on the stream, you get to see her reaction. Yeah, they got back to the town. The lights were still lit, even though it was quite late at night. They got a bit closer, and the lights weren't lit. The town had burned to the ground.
The whole town.
The whole town.
Oh, that's what you were on about before. Oh God.
And everybody was dead.
Oh shit.
There was a horrible moment. Again, watch it on the episode. But there was a horrible moment where Kaya went to pull a man out from dangling over the well, and it was only half of him there. The other half was actually in the well.
You're a bad man.
I am.
You're a bad man.
The town had been literally ripped apart. Sadly.
Oh my God. Okay then. Well.
There was one survivor who was Avel. He was almost dead, but Mercy managed to, with the help of Gabriel, managed to bring him back enough to tell them that basically Dimitri was arguing with his wife, whose name escapes me because I'm too busy trying not to look you in the face because I can't deal with that look right now. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, it's okay. She's changed the look. She's changed it.
I was going to say, that's better. Lana.
Okay.
Lana was arguing with Dimitri because they had the children that had turned back. Something happened, and Lana killed Dimitri.
Oh yeah, I heard that bit when I came back in.
Yeah. The children turned back into the ogres. The curse still somehow in effect.
Oh no!
Killed the entire town.
Oh God!
They all presumably left.
Right, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So at the moment, the party are at an impasse, and that's where Alma decided to part ways, which I think you came back for. So the party are now at a point where they kind of want to go and hunt these things on the way, but they're also on a time limit to get to Sparta as soon as possible.
Are we having Kaya back?
Possibly.
Okay.
Not tomorrow. We have Peter Fozzie Forrester with us tomorrow.
Yay!
Which should be fun. But hopefully we'll get Kaya on again.
Okay, so you're going to kind of having guests.
Definitely. If anybody wants to guest star and isn't already a deity, sorry guys.
Oh, having a deity on would be fun.
To be fair, that would be really fun. Can you imagine?
We will get you guys on when it's appropriate and when I have given you a briefing, so you can't just kill everyone for not...
Damn it!
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody does want to guest star, I love having guests on because we get to add a whole new weird and throw a spanner in the works that doesn't involve me creating a character out of the blue. Rather than having to come up with Agatha and everyone else, I get to throw a player in there.
Agatha! Please come
She's
back.
the best.
I have plans.
She's been my favourite NPC by far.
She needs to move her home and just follow the players.
Yeah. Can you imagine her turning up like
everywhere?
You got
I have plans.
Oh yay! Oh my God.
So in terms, right, back to the players again.
Sorry again.
Okay. So parting. One of the things I want to talk about is we talked a lot about splitting the party. Now, for the out of character reasons I won't go into, that's by the by, we won't go into that again. But losing players, losing characters, and kind of dealing with that, how going to the people now rather than the gods. I don't know if you've been in any games where you've had to lose people for whatever reason, whether you ran games where players have had to quit. How do you tend to do that?
Well, not in D&D, but in LARP, definitely.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I run a few things, and I've Matt and I kind of try and kind of introduce. Because we live in a sleepy little village, so we try and introduce our friends to D&D and basically want more nerds in our village.
Yeah.
And if they have teenagers, we're like, look, play D&D, and we introduce it to them. But then, unfortunately, them being teenagers go off to university.
Yeah, of course.
So sometimes I'm left with like, oh no, there's no one to. Okay. But most of the time we've been successful and they've gone to university and joined the role-playing society.
Yay!
So yeah, just getting everyone in our village to become nerds.
Fair. But more so in character as well. How do you kind of, if you're running games, for example, how do you tend to approach those?
I basically put a good reason as to why they've gone. I try not to kill them because it's not really fair on the person. It's not their fault they're leaving.
Yeah.
And they have a reason they go off. So it leaves it open to if eventually, circumstances allow and things change, then people can come back and you can level them up and go, look, you've done some rocky training, running up steps for ages, and you're really strong.
Fair. How about then? Because this might have more experience. We haven't experienced it yet, which is great. We've had a lot of villagers die. We've had me almost kill children. I'm a bad man.
Yeah.
Player deaths. As a DM as well, I guess, but in LARP, where a person's character dies, or in D&D, where a teammate dies for whatever reason.
It's horrible.
Less advice, more kind of shared experience and stories.
I don't think it's ever easy when somebody dies. Like, I think when you're in a game and you're so invested in the story and you start to love the characters. So it's really funny when you kind of know somebody in real life, but then also know their character. I came to LARP and met a lot of my friends in character, so I knew their characters before I actually knew their actual real life person. So when their character dies, it becomes this real loss. It's like, not only because you know that in real life they're still alive because you can see them, but you've lost.
They're normally stood over there with a pizza with their finger in the ear, like.
It's like you've lost somebody that you've been interacting with for years, and I think it's always nice to give them a good send off, like for you to show your sadness for them going, because some people invest, I know people that have had characters for 15 plus years that have spent thousands and thousands of pounds on kit, and for them to just kind of dissipate into the ether, I think it's always nice for somebody to have like a kind of a memorable end, if that makes sense.
Definitely, which is another reason why. Which is another reason why I wanted to go for the harrowing kind of emotional end, to kind of give Alma a proper send-off as well, rather than just, I'm going home now. I wanted it to be, I'm going home, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah, this is horrible, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and also, I'm going to...
Because, she was quite emotional and
young.
Yeah.
But a good example, kind of what you're saying, is sorry, this might trigger Emily, but when Duncan died, when Matt died in LC.
So, little short plug for the people that don't know, all one of them probably at this point. But so we do a LARP system called Lorien Trust. So big plug to Lorien Trust. It's where I met both these lovely people. So in my opinion, it's the best roleplay system ever because that's how I got these guys. So it is based in a high fantasy world, based on all sorts of different fantasies, depending on where you're from. we're from the Hearts. We're an Arthurian legend kind of kingdom. You've also got the Jackals, who are based in ancient Egypt. The list goes on.
We've got knights and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, mainly I'm plugging because, one, so you get the context, but two, because a lot of them are... The reason they're not here is because they are currently building all the set and the tents and the facilities and the whole camp for... How many people normally come to the Moot? I know gathering can be, like, a lot, but Moot is still hundreds of people.
The gatherings in kind of like 3,000-4,000 something.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
The moots tend to be smaller, but I don't know exactly.
Still pretty darn large.
Yeah.
Compared to something like D&D, where you have a party of 4 to 12 if you're really ambitious or stupid.
Yeah, there's like, in your faction, you could have like up to 300 people.
Yeah, 300 people in one camp of 10 camps. So yeah, they're currently putting up all of the things so that we can do our thing this weekend. So one, I wanted to thank the guys. They're not here, but they're not here for a very good reason. Two, I wanted to plug LT because it's on this weekend. So search Laurie and Trust. If I ever get time, I'm going to be doing a video series to kind of explain LARP and all the various bits to hopefully help new players without giving away secrets. And that's a whole new matter. So I want to quick plug that, but yeah, go back into what you were saying about when your real life husband, in character
Duncan died.
Yeah.
To put it into context as to what Emily was saying, getting into your relationship with people, Matt and Danny are friends. However, Duncan and Windrake were friends first. And when Duncan died, Windrake was not. No, he was not happy. To be fair, a lot of us weren't happy. It affected a lot of people.
Yeah,
but
we lost a lot of close in-character friends that event as well.
Yeah, one thing he did was that, and he did do this. I don't think he finished them all beforehand, but he did start writing everyone letters of "In case I die," and one of them went to Danny, and Windrake carries it everywhere with him, and gets it out and reads it, and it still makes him cry.
Yeah.
So it's, you do get invested, but it's one of those things. It's nice for the player that everyone remembers you and thinks nice things about you. And
it's nice when you've come up with a great character as well, especially if either you've had them for a very long time. It's nice to know that you left a legacy. And if you haven't had a character, whether it be LARP or D&D, if they haven't lasted long, but you've done the prep, you're one of those kinds of people that invest in the kit, invest in the backstory, invest in the ideas and everything, and then they die quite soon. Still having people kind of miss you or, quote things you did and things like that. It's really nice because it kind of shows that your hard work, even if not from an emotional friend standpoint, it shows your hard work wasn't wasted.
Yeah, because as well, not everybody dies heroically either. Some people die.
Matt was eaten by a dragon.
Yeah, which is pretty heroic, to be honest.
It depends why he got eaten by the dragon.
But some people get robbed and then in the dark and die, and nobody knows that they're dead for a long time. That must be really hard, for you.
Same in D&D as well. Some people just die because either they weren't ready for the fight or just things happened and were like, hang on, I thought you had the healing potions.
Yeah, and, I did worry about this party, actually, because I felt like they end up on the floor quite a lot.
They do, but they up until recently, they had 3 healers. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think when they had Kaya, she could also heal as a bard.
Yeah, Kaya.
So, what they lack up for in resilience, they make up for in healing magic.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, they're kind of like, yo-yos. They go up and down.
Yeah, especially Gabriel at the moment, bless him. But then when he does get up, he does give it a good go. He's just really unlucky because, again, he's got high armor. He's just really unlucky with the dice rolls.
Yeah, and Runt's really lucky. How many nat 20s has he had now? He's
I don't know. I might have to get him to have a dice cam. But no, I do trust him. I just think he's magic.
Really good. We should introduce into the rolls every time Runt has a nat 20 into the drinking game.
I don't think I can deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, just to finish up on like character death and stuff, for me, as a person, I've only experienced it, I think, once, because touch wood, I only started D&D relatively recently compared to a lot of people, but I haven't had a player death yet. In terms of LARP, one of my characters died, and it was very new, but it also kind of was really well handled by people, and that's the thing that I think is important when you're either part of a LARP team or running a D&D game like a DM, is that if things happened and it's not, okay, I need to retire, but shall we sort out so it's not just I go and we die. If it's unplanned and comes out of the blue, making sure that you have someone there to talk to you about it. Because, yes, it's just an imaginary character sheet or, you know, laminated card, but it's also, again, you've invested a lot into those characters. I had to explain it a few years ago to my better half about... She was joining me to LARP. And she was really worried that when people got upset about people dying, that she would laugh because it was uncomfortable or she didn't get it. And I had things such as explain, well, it's like when you read a book and a character dies in that and you feel those emotions, or you watch a TV show. And she was like, oh, I'm still worried that I'll just laugh when everyone's, you know, crying about it. But then she very quickly made friends with Gregsy, who was a goblin. And is now Pan in our universe.
Also eaten by a dragon.
Yeah, that dragon took a lot of lives.
Same day.
But when he died, I think it may have been her first or second event, but she'd got to know the character, and she wasn't a role player, but she was still there like, no, I get it, I understand now.
Yeah.
And it can be difficult, especially in a very, like I'm trying to do, a story-based game like this. It can be very emotional when you've invested yourself so much to then lose someone in whatever way.
Yeah, it's like losing your favourite characters in a book or a film or anything. Like, and everybody around you is feeling it, and that energy you feel off that. Like in the D&D game that you do, like, even though I didn't see the end bit, there was still some really emotional sections in there. There has been before when Alma had, I can't remember what she was talking about. She had a really emotional speech, which, you know, while I was listening to it, I was like, oh my God, you know, I could feel the emotion coming off it. And I feel like D&D still does it just as well as in that.
Yeah, it's just a different forum.
Yeah.
It's something that you've got to be respectful when people die and things like that as well.
Yeah.
But also that they may not want, actually, they may like the fact that people talk about them, they're happy about it, but straight away they may, because if they were properly in character and they've just died, they don't sometimes want to talk about it. It's like when my last character, my first character, LT, died on her wedding day.
Oh God!
So did her fiance. We both died on the same mission, and her wedding cake became sad cake. And
that's what sad cake is.
That's what sad cake is.
Oh geez.
And
I thought sad cake was just, you know, Bridget Jones' Diary kind of.
I did as well.
No. And
it's so much worse now.
Me and Gav plays Theo now. His last character, Halo, and my last character, Violet, were going to get married. And they decided to go on a big suicide mission beforehand, because it wasn't a suicide mission, of course.
I thought the suicide mission was marriage. Wow! Yeah. You really are.
Yeah, they died. And we came back, and everyone was looking for us to see if we were okay. And we just couldn't face anyone. Yeah. So we literally went and sat in a tent and kind of just sat there in silence going, ugh. And we just didn't want to talk to anybody. And we sat, and we were both like, so what are we going to do? And we'd done he was more prepared than I was, but I'd pretty much done the dumbass thing of, I don't have a next character planned, I do not know what to do.
Hey, sometimes they're the best ones. When my character died, I had nothing but pajamas, so I made a slothkin. You shush. It was funny. He's still in the camp picture.
When we eventually ventured out of the thing, he said that he had his idea of what he was going to do next, and I was like, okay, well, I'll see if I can sort of tag in on what you're doing because I don't want to turn up on my own. And then one of the more established players in the faction was like, "Do you want to be my daughter? I have a long lost daughter. You can be her." I was like, "All right then." And that's how my current character happened. It was basically me tagging along with Gav.
And now she's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Yeah, and much longer standing than my last character.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's it. My current character, I was super happy. I'd just, literally, the morning of the event where my first character died, I had to rush really quickly to old Mumsy's because she'd just finished making me a greave. She'd just finished sewing some fake leather to some fur so I could have it on these shin pads because I don't have a lot of money and I wasn't very crafty. But to make these greaves, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to have to rush to the event. Thank you so much. Second day. Don't need that kit anymore. Yeah, but my character now, again, is one of the reasons I've got so close to you guys and things is because it's a completely different ball game. So good things can come out of it too, even with character death in D&D. It means, and I think the great thing about D&D is that you're still there with the same group of friends if you come back.
Yeah. It's like LARP.
With LARP, sometimes that happens, but sometimes it's difficult because you have to remake.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many more people. You don't always end up in the same group. Whereas D&D, you've got that really close circle there for when that happens. So no matter what character you come back as, they might give you a hard time to begin with, but you've still got that bond as friends there that will eventually kind of show. Hey, we'll stop talking about death.
I know!
And we'll finish off with some... Because there's lots of predictions going on at the minute in terms of Game of Thrones and other such things, we'll finish with some predictions here. So, first one is the one that we brought up earlier, Gavriel and his shebang. What do we think is going on there?
You can go first this time.
Sex slave! No. My mind just automatically goes to there. I don't know, I get the feeling that he's either some kind of mercenary or he owes Poseidon something for, I don't know, maybe he's done something for his family, or knowing Poseidon, he's a tricksy little bugger.
That's my brother you're talking about.
Is he tricksy though?
Yeah.
Yes. He's either wronged him and he's paying the price for it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel like it because I feel like he actually respects Poseidon, or he owes him something because Poseidon's done something for him. That's what I'm thinking.
Hera?
Yeah, I'm to be fair gonna probably go with I think he did a bad, and Poseidon's basically going, "You're my bitch now."
Okay.
I think he did a bad.
Interesting.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not going to do anything but nod maniacally. So
I like it though. I'm excited to know where it goes, which is brilliant. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, I was so excited. You little shit, Poseidon. I felt like backhanded him. You're like, what are you up to?
On that as well. Okay, we'll go through all actually, because we had a little moment with Mercy, not in the past 2 episodes, but I didn't think we really touched on it before. Back when she was in Thebes and kind of the scars that she was covered in. Any thoughts there as to?
Do you know? I don't even I think it just was so not awful, but harrowing. I just kind of went nope. I just put it straight out of my mind. I just wanted to give her a big hug and be like, it's okay.
Yeah, I think that very much softened her for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's we saw her vulnerabilities.
You're annoying enough yourself, and then I saw that and went, oh, you're not.
Oh, did you?
It's like, who hurt you, girl? Who hurt you?
I feel like I've always kind of sensed that kind of vulnerability that Mercy has. Maybe because obviously I'm more in touch with that than you, because you have no heart. No, I'm joking. I love you, Mum.
That's what I mean. As soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, no, you're like that because you're like me. You're damaged. Basically, it's like you are emotionally damaged, physically damaged by something. And it's like, that's kind of how I see Hera is that, you know, yes, she can be the world's biggest bitch, but she really has good reason to be. She just puts it in the wrong place. She attacks other people instead of Zeus.
Ironically, putting it in the wrong place is what Zeus does.
Yeah. So,
come to me, guys. Just, you know, I'll give you some advice. We'll sort it. It's fine.
so that's kind of, I saw that and went, oh, okay. So you're basically, you're defensive and harsh to everyone.
Yeah.
Because you're scared and hurt. So it's
she does remind me a lot of both Persephone and Hecate, actually, both of them, like, which is interesting. So I feel like, I don't know what's behind why the scars happened. I think I just noped out of it.
Yeah, it's been great getting straight into kind of character story rather than my story. Obviously, my story is there, but it's great that
I'm enjoying getting to know the characters.
Immediately kind of get to make those connections. Even Run, our kind of lovely, ragey boy, there's stuff going on in Sparta. What do we think is going to be waiting for him there?
Me? No.
Ha! Yeah, Ares may not kill you, but he can kill him.
Yeah, he definitely will. Ooh, battles.
It wouldn't be a battle, Ares would win.
Yeah, he really would.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just like, no, it's got to be something.
He was asking a lot of questions when the Spartans turned up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is he? Oh, hang on. I think I'm getting two stories mixed up. Is he the mercenary?
He is now. He kind of does whatever jobs he can be paid for now.
Did he used to be? He used to be in the army, didn't he, with them? Because it seemed like
he knew them.
Yeah, that's it. That's when I'm kind of. Yeah, it definitely felt like he either ran away from the army or maybe got turfed out. I think if you run away from the army, though, isn't that penalty of death? So. Yeah,
they were too. He was too buddy with that guy.
Yeah.
I reckon something happened, and the way he was, you know, in being quite protective of the rest of the party, not just Almond, just everyone. I reckon he's the sort of person that basically believed the wrong person and protected the wrong person.
Yeah.
And then left because he felt dishonoured, or, you know, they told him to leave, like, leave now or we'll have to kill you or something. Because he did something, but right reason, wrong person.
Yeah.
Sort of impression I got.
Okay. So beyond character story then, the Eye, the ogres, the horrible Lana betraying her husband and seemingly magically, it wasn't a stab you're dead, it was kind of a you're dead. What do we think went on there?
I honestly don't know, because obviously I missed that part, so I don't think I'm the right person to comment on that one.
Yeah.
I really, I would be guessing. I don't know. And also, without wanting to do, again, spoilers, we know random weird things can suddenly happen.
Okay, just as a hashtag no spoilers, nothing that you guys know about.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's not related. Well, is it related? Is it not? But yeah, it's none of the secrets you guys have. Yeah.
Okay.
Secrets, spooky secrets.
I get to mess with you guys as well too.
Oh, you're always messing with me. Stop. No, don't stop. I love it.
Hephaestus, it's not what it sounds like. It is what it sounds like.
It's all right. Just go at a fast pace and he can't catch you.
Yeah, that's true.
She likes that.
Tis true.
Yeah. I'm not going to comment on any of it because I'm just interested to see. Because a great storyteller not only listens to what people think is going on, he also possibly changes it to do that.
Yeah.
But
I'm enjoying. I'm excited to see what happens and where it goes. And what I'm also liking at the moment as well is people are kind of gelling together rather than kind of having their own objective all the time. They're working together and then doing their own.
That's something I got concerned about with the Mercy scarcity, because Mercy tended to be a very lone agent and would frequently go, well, while you guys are doing your things, dear, I'll go do mine. But she's still working with them, which is great. And she's still maybe not opening up to them, but still obviously forming some sort of bond, which is great.
Yeah, I think she's one of those characters that won't open up for a long time. And maybe because of her scars, you don't know. But I kind of like that about her. I like that she's guarded and that she gives us this version. I like it. She's got depth. Like onions, they've all got skins.
Layers.
Yeah. But she's enough to trust them, to kind of say, look, I need you to do this, and kind of be open enough to say, look, I need you to do this, and and they're doing it.
Yeah. Same with Gabrielle and Runt. It's like Runt calling it in, and Runt's like, I don't want to, but fine, I did say I would. Kind of like an honour system almost, which is good, because I always worry when you start a new party is getting them to be a party. Getting from the point where they're several people that have been shoved together for the sake of the game to the point where they are actually a team or a family or a party, or, well, I guess being a family is another jump entirely. But I think I don't think we're there yet.
You're getting there though.
I'm thinking Sparta, should they make it there, may solidify things in the fact that they will have to, work for Gavriel to help him, work for Runt to help him with whatever he's got going on there, and we'll
I think
definitely have to work together.
I think it's the perfect time to incorporate that as well, Luke, and you've done really well with that, because at the start it's almost like, well, I remember when they had to make a decision on what to do and they were all kind of like, well, why should we go together? But now they're kind of all invested together, like they've been through this traumatic event that has gelled them together. Now they want to help each other, and I think you have done really well with that as well as the players. So credit to you on that.
Give them a common enemy. If they go and hunt Lana and the ogres, that's something that's definitely they are all very much invested in as a group, because cursed children, dead town, orphans everywhere tends to unite people.
And especially now because Alma's gone, I think they might want to kind of use that as a way to, we need to do this because we've lost one of ours, so let's get together and do something together. Are
we a team, are we not? If we are, let's work like a team almost. Or if not, should we all part ways? Which I hope they don't do, because they're not going to look for some new players. But again, if anything, I try my best to, whatever their decision is, to kind of work with that. Even if it ends up being lots of mini-series and it's like the Adventures of Mercy and then the Adventures of Runt and Gabriel.
I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
Again, I hope that doesn't happen, because it's a logistical nightmare.
Please don't do that, guys.
Don't actually do that.
Well, if it naturally happens, it naturally happens. We'll see. But yeah, it's great to see them again. Only five episodes in, they've gone from a god literally forcing them to work together for the sake of plot, really, to right, help me out. Okay, well, I'm coming too. I'm involved.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. And stay tuned. I have plans for you guys to be in there a lot more coming soon.
Ooh, do you enjoy that?
Yeah. We were going to have a moment recently with a god in, but plans had to change. But yeah, definitely get you guys more involved as well, because you guys get to sit and judge, but it'd be great to see you actually get in there and kind of... Again, we do have interactions with you guys. That prayer that Gavriel made was replied to by the actual Poseidon.
Yes.
Even if he was probably in a pool at the time, actually, on holiday.
He's always in a pool.
A pool? I can't say anything with my fucking voice. But yeah.
Yeah, shut up. I'm Northern, okay?
So...
Yeah, I just want to say as well how well Chloe did coming in as, like, a guest. Like, she just threw herself into the character. Like, I really enjoyed... Because when she was sat on the thing, I thought, oh, God, is this going to be, like, a super strong baddie? Like, what's happening? And then it was kind of everybody. It felt tense, like, oh God, what's going to happen? Is she going to kill them all? And then she turns out to be this hilarious, like, silver-tongued bard, which just had me laughing so much.
Well, something with,
She was good.
Yeah, it's something with bringing other people in.
It's hard,
It's kind of, I like to, I've only done it once, but we're doing it again tomorrow. I like to treat guests. I like to make them feel like they've got not an advantage against the other players, but they're being treated like a guest almost.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that, and not just for the sake of it because the people are nice. It's great to see that the characters did it because it fit with their motivations as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see if that happens tomorrow or not. Because
if you guys please tune in for tomorrow, because if any of you have not met Fozzie, then you need to, because he is hilarious.
And he's got a very
nice
come on and be
like, yes, I'm beard.
Yes.
You watch, he'll come on and be like this.
Just a quiet. Yeah, on that as well, we'll do more of a shout out tomorrow, but he does have a YouTube channel himself. I think it's Peter Forrester or Forest Crafts. I can never remember.
Yeah, we'll get him to plug it.
But we'll get a link and we'll stick it when we release the YouTube video of stuff. We'll make sure there's an actual link there because he does a lot of work as well. Again, you get to see his bum. So, just saying. Right, on that note, before we wrap things up, guys, thank you for joining me for Ladies' Night. I'm all out of gin. So, before we go...
I haven't even had one.
I'm running out of wine.
In that case, any closing remarks on the Polyphemus saga as it draws to a temporary, at least, close?
Are we doing... Is this favour? Are we doing favour or not?
We'll do that at the very end.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought that was now.
No, don't worry.
No, I don't think so. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I think everyone did well, including you. Well done, Luke.
Yeah.
You. I only do this for attention. Thank you for realising. But yeah, no, everyone's done really well. Especially, again, to say none of us knew each other, including me. I knew Ken sort of through LARP. But everyone else, it's been a very new experience, so it's been great to see. It's like we're meshing.
Yeah,
So,
I like it.
But yeah, as Hera finishes her wine, we can't log off until you finished it, just saying.
Oh, okay, well.
Where's Mercy? We need Mercy.
I'll wait.
I'm serious, I won't drink it now.
Darn! Yeah, favour. Who gets... And think of both episodes as well.
Oh, it's so hard.
That's what she always said.
I'll never get mine.
It's so difficult because...
Yeah, Mercy is here, by the way. She's here.
Yes,
I feel like...
the only one that's watching right now.
I feel like they all did so well, and there's different parts of them that deserved favour. But I think for me, taking into account the other episode as well, and all like the sections to help out the characters, my vote's going to go for Mercy.
Okay.
Yep.
I think, Hera, you're definitely going for Mercy as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
you pretty much said.
I would have kicked up some form of hell if you hadn't have talked about the first episode, because she really impressed me in the first one. And
you impressed Mama.
yeah. And in the second one came up with a good plan, which got ignored until the last second when Gavril kind of went, "Oh wait, I'm not hitting it first, am I? Okay." So it was good. She had a good plan, and it worked, and castration happened. But yeah, so I think
that was a hard pick for me. But
again, that's what
I think she topped it. Well, she definitely topped it.
They were all good.
They were all. I've got a feeling it's only going to get harder as we go on. Again, I feel like to decide, because they are all they're so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, well done, Mercy. You are indeed honoured by Queens.
Well done.
So you have next episode, you have inspiration that you can use before the end of the episode, because the gods are fickle and get bored easily. So it only lasts
Don't forget.
one session. So yeah, don't forget, Gabriel.
Not naming any names.
Not naming any names, but we just need some names. Yeah, well done, Mercy. Well done, everybody, but well done, Mercy. I think the fact that you also saved children kind of got your hero's vote.
That was my main talking point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you again. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in live, even if it is just, I think, Mercy and a couple of others, but lots of people are busy. That is fine. Also, thank you to anybody that watches it after, listens to the podcast. We are now on Spotify, we are on iTunes, we are on Podbean. We can't be on Google Play because we're not in America, apparently.
Podbean.
We'll get there. Podbean's great. Thank you. This will be on YouTube. It will be on shameless plugs, sellouts everywhere. Thank you to Emily and to Eddie, not just here in Aphrodite, for joining us for Ladies' Night. Obviously,
Can I do a quick shameless plug?
Of course you can.
Tune into Ixus, the GM's sessions. I think the next one is, let me just quickly check my calendar. Sorry. I think it's the 9th. Oh, yes, it's the 9th of May on Twitch.
So 9th of May, the first episode was great. Ichthus is a great supporter of the stream. Gareth is lovely. And I think everybody else in there is a god.
Yeah, I'm in it. You've got Hecate, you've got Persephone, and
Apollo.
you've got Apollo.
Yeah, so tune in, guys. 9th of May at 7:30, did you say?
7:30.
7:30, tune in. They are doing the Swords That Bind, is it called?
Yeah.
Yes, good. Yeah, it's called The Swords That Bind. It actually had a little shout out at the very beginning of this stream of places that visited. So please tune in.
I'm just doing this to show you.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, tune in, guys. Thanks again. Also, tune again. I'll try and put links below. So we will be hosting it thus. We will put links to Fozzie's YouTube. We'll put lots of pictures of these guys up because they're pretty and I like to do that. Thank you to everybody that's watching, listening, tunes in regularly, puts up with me, puts up with the rest of us and our shenanigans.
Shut up, you're pretty.
Yeah.
You are very pretty.
Yeah, and hopefully see you tomorrow, guys. Until then, remember that we all love you. Especially
The gods are watching.
The gods are always watching.
Definitely watching.
Bye.
Bye.